there are so many passages in the Quran that constantly, if you're paying attention, force you to say, could it ever be possible that the Prophet ﷺ is speaking and this is not God? Right? It's just too intriguing. You know, like what? Like when the Quran is always mentioning other prophets more than Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? The idea, the claim, the allegation is Muhammad wrote the Quran. Muhammad spoke the Quran sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Well, if he did, you think he'd include his name in there more than 4 times or 5 times? It's 5, right? That's it, 5 times. Muhammad and Ahmad 5 times. How many times is Moses mentioned in the Quran? 134 times. How many times is Jesus mentioned in the Quran? How many times is Abraham mentioned in the Quran, alayhimus salam? So much more. You'd think his name would be there, right? The stylometric test. What's the stylometric test? That's just a big clunky word. It's basically a mathematical comparison. It's software that has been produced in recent times that they call it author discrimination. How do you discriminate this is really from this author or not from this author? Okay? By the way, this author discrimination technique is how they discounted and disproved that many of the books in the Bible that are attributed to even Paul were not even written by Paul himself. Paul, the creator of Christianity. But what they did is they performed 12 different experiments comparing what? The Quran with a book like Sahih al-Bukhari. Sahih al-Bukhari, you know, is the most authentic, collection of statements and descriptions and actions and approvals of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His everyday speech, basically, to simplify. And what they did when they compared the language of the Quran with the language of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they concluded that it is humanly impossible for these two to come from the same person.